Good morning, everybody. If anybody's there.
This is where she goes, almighty morning, almighty something, almighty.
Almighty's everything?
Yes.
We'll just mighty it all up.
I'm not on Facebook yet. Would you call her on your phone?
Hello.
Hi, I'm not on Facebook yet. Nothing is coming up on the screen correctly.
You went and go live?
Done.
We did that.
Okay.
I'm at Facebook home. I did my face in the bottom corner. Then I go to I'm at Scott Underwood add story edit profile.
Okay. You go to profile. Oh, no. Hold on a minute. Okay. So you pushed your face, and then you're to the middle.
I'm at memory saved groups video marketplace friends.
Go back. Go back to your face.
Home.
Yeah. Left. You got this.
Lower right, I have face.
Okay. Are you on live?
Am I on what?
Live.
I don't know.
And Restream, we've gone live, yes.
Okay. Say hi to everybody.
Gabe.
Go ahead. So you're back to your Facebook, right?
I'm on something on Facebook, but nothing coming up like when you're here. Something is different.
Did you push on your face again?
I have pushed my face. I am on Scott Underwood. It's saying your shot. I have 5 things to pick from. Memory save group.
Hold on a minute. You pushed your face, and then you went in between. At the top, you went in between your face and another icon, right? So you went in the center, and you pushed that second.
Is that what she's talking about? Yeah, and I'm looking at Scott Underwood. Add your story, edit profile.
Dang. Okay, let me pull mine up.
If I leave it, start all over and go back to scratch.
Yes, go back to scratch.
Hi, Miss Pam.
I push on my name. It comes up Scott Underwood Live, 353 friends. And then, I've got my picture down in the lower right corner. And
Just trying to figure out how to use Facebook and get his Facebook up and running.
Okay. You're pushing too high.
tell Pam, yes.
It's a good thing that technology is not required to do these kind of things. Otherwise, we'd all be in deep doo-doo.
Hello, Pam. Yes, you're right.
You're muted, by the way.
Pam's on?
Yes, she is.
She's harassing me already.
All right.
Muted where?
Okay. So
When
you pull up, it should say menu. There's a menu pop up. There's a menu pop up for you. When I push my face, like you push your face, then the menu pops up.
Is that what I'm looking at as a menu? Memories, saved, groups, video, marketplace, friends.
On the top, well, you've got your phone.
It says menu.
He's not live at this point though, right?
Upper left.
Right below the menu, there's a dot on one side and a dot on the other. In between that is where you push.
No, I have menu, I have my face, and then Scott Underwood.
Okay, you push Scott Underwood. Right on Scott Underwood, right in the middle.
I did that. Now I'm back on the screen I was before. It says live. Scott Underwood, 353 friends, posts, reels, details.
Okay.
Is he
So
supposed to?
down to your three dots.
These three dots at the right.
Where it's live. Go down to the three dot where it's live.
He's pushing that and nothing's happening.
Then he's not hitting the right three dots. The three dots are to the left.
No, I've got three dots to the right.
All one. Okay, go down to where it's live. Your current live stream.
When I do that, I don't get anything but a bunch of happy birthdays, Scott Underwood. Okay, there's the live there.
Okay.
In, post, edit privacy.
Yes, there you go. You got it.
Okay, now I go public, which is on there, and then what? Done.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And that fixed it.
It's saying
Looks like in
Okay.
30 seconds.
and then am I done?
Then you're going to like or love it, and then you're going to share it. And then, yes, you're on, and you're fully going on Facebook.
About time.
I mean, how many times have we done this?
But you drive, I don't. It's like the instructor in an airplane. Your brain just shuts off because you know the instructor's there. I've been there. All right, thank you for putting up with me.
Hey, just tell everyone I said hi.
I'm glad we only had one viewer this morning. It's Pam.
I love the fact it's a sheet show.
My microphone is on.
Now your microphone is on. You're taking care of it.
Hello, Pam. You're the only
Hello,
one here.
Pam. You're the only one here.
You're harassing us already.
You're harassing us already.
She didn't harass us.
She said you said you were going to give her a hard time.
She's winning the race.
Yeah, you were. All right.
Oh, I learned something. I wasn't going far enough down the screen.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
Okay, Pam. I guess you get to.
Okay, Pam. I guess you get to have a reading.
Wendy is here too.
Which Wendy?
I don't know.
I have many of them.
Good morning, Wendy.
Good morning, Wendy. Good morning.
So on your screen somewhere.
So on your screen somewhere, it must tell you where all the visitor, all the people are, or something, right?
They're coming here.
I see that. I mean, that's the chat.
Well, I see that. I mean, that's the chat.
Yes.
But that's all I ever
But
see.
that's all I ever see.
Yeah.
When Julie's here, I've got a duplicate.
Wendy Yates.
Welcome, Miss Wade Yates.
Welcome, Miss Wade Yates.
Didn't you have enough of me last night?
Did you have enough of me last night, Wendy?
You had to come back for more.
You had to come back for more.
You act like
No,
it's
no,
torture
we
or
had-
something.
No,
to deal
no,
with.
we had trans class
I
last
saw
night.
her last
I
night.
saw
So
her
she's
last
fresh
night.
in my memory.
So she's fresh in my memory.
Fresh in your memory, huh?
Yeah.
So
Nothing.
Pam, what's the weather like?
So Pam, what's the weather like in Wisconsin?
Wherever you are.
Wherever you are.
You people are not rolling in.
People are not rolling in here. So live for 7
By now we would have had.
By now we would have had.
Well, we were like 5 minutes.
Well, we were like 4 minutes late signing on too.
There's nobody from India here
We
yet.
might just be talking.
We might just be talking amongst ourselves this morning.
I'm okay with that.
Hi, Daniel Darian.
Hi, Daniel Darian.
Well, yes, she's.
No, well, yes,
in Wisconsin.
she's in Wisconsin,
and
she's watching from behind the scenes,
praying that we
and
pull
she's
this off.
praying that we pull this off without
I
her.
have Kirby
So,
here.
I have
He's my
Kirby here.
overseer today.
He's my overseer today.
Overseer.
What's the other?
The elder setter.
Or handler.
Handler. There we go. That's a good one.
I like to visualize a leash.
Visualize a leash.
Yeah, I was trying to say a little spike collar.
Darian Ray, what's happening in
Darian
your
Ray,
world
what's
today?
happening in
We
your
have
world
Kirby
today?
here. He's an
We have Kirby here.
acupuncturist.
He's an acupuncturist.
Keeps
I
you.
get paid to stab people.
I get paid to stab
I
people.
hadn't heard that one. He
I
keeps
hadn't
you
heard
on
that one.
pins and
He
needles.
keeps you on pins and needles.
Only for about 10 minutes or so.
Only for about 10 minutes or so, 15 minutes tops.
When you say that, I still
When
think
you
that's
say that, I
interesting.
still think
The
that
thing that intrigues me the most
the
about
thing
what
that
you've
intrigues
done
me the
to
most about what you've done to me is how the needles just jump out when they're done.
Sort of
Sometimes,
like a timer
yeah.
on turkey.
Sort of like the timer on a turkey.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
Or the belly button on
Or the belly button on a pregnant lady. Same thing. I'm done. It's ready to go.
Uh-oh.
Okay, our voice is
Exactly.
echoing.
Let me turn down my
volume. Maybe I'm a little close.
Doesn't mind me.
We've
We've had that trouble.
Julie, text one of us. What's happening with the voice?
Julie, tech voices.
Does that change anything?
Does that change anything?
Keep us posted here in the voicing. Darian, is that
Keep us posted here in the voice. Is that
Pam, are you hearing us?
helping you? Pam, are you hearing us okay?
And then there's the delay.
And then there's the delay.
Waiting. Trying to think of something clever to say.
Waiting, wait, eat up the silent.
Let's try.
Well, let's
We've had
try.
trouble before with
this.
Speakers being on and back.
Between speakers being
Right. That's what I'm saying. Maybe if we go through my stuff, it won't be. Maybe
Because I think I'm picking up everything.
because I'm picking up everything that.
Hi, Scooter Pam. Are you hearing us okay? Julie is across the country. My favorite acupuncturist is here with us.
Aren't I your only
You
acupuncturist?
are. So I have to say my favorite wife.
Still echoing, he says. Well, I need to
Or do
hear.
we have to make speakers on? If this speakers, this, how about we move this? Can you hear me on the feed?
All right, is that better?
Is
With
this
what we done?
better? Can everybody hear me? Can everybody hear Kirby? Is the echoing gone? Please advise.
All right. So if we put Scott on
Mute.
mute and we just run through my iPad, does that fix it?
How are you guys doing now? We have one main microphone. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. This is all Julie's idea, you guys. So if this goes wrong, you'll know why.
Not that we need a scapegoat. We're perfectly capable of taking our own responsibility. Cool. Thank you, Scooter Pam.
Okay, there. Yeah, we had too many microphones on. Yay. Okay. All right. Now you can ask your sage questions and get sage wisdom and sage. Talk to Kirby today. He's.
I get this feeling you don't really want to do this today, Scott.
This technology stuff just turned me into a nut. I hate this. Not my calling. Anyway, I still think I think of Fraser all the time. Him and Roz. I call Julie my Roz. Who's got a question? Who's got a concern? Who knows any aliens? Who's gone flying in a spaceship?
The next few weeks.
Darian Ray. Darian, what part of the world are you in? I know I've asked you before, but I keep people straight. Darian. That's interesting. You don't have to wait for me. Generally, we can't. Ball rolling.
Got to keep the whole. I mean, Vision's not really. It's kind of. I know that some of the energy in on the planetary basis is shall we say, a little chaotic right now. Like there's lots of things floating around.
Scotland, okay. That helps. All right, I'll tune into you there in Scotland.
Yeah, I want to meet an alien too, Pam. My concern is that Jaylee never take off again. Well, you know, I think we're doing pretty good though.
This is her first time out of the nest. My first time out of the nest. Let's put it that way. But reference Darian, what you're talking about. Man, I'm getting an image of you sitting here like I don't know what to do. Should I go left? Should I go right? That's my vision. Let me work on this for a minute. And that's interesting. I'm seeing a little bird land in one hand. Why would a little bird land in your hand?
Is it the right or left hand?
I was wondering, which wouldn't matter. As I see him, it would be his left hand.
His left hand. Okay. So birds tend to be messengers from other realms. Being on the left side generally means more watch and look and see what's going on, see how things might develop, always looking for opportunities, you know, that slow moving prey or that very tasty little morsel, whatever it happens to be. So being ready to strike as soon as the opportunity presents itself.
I have to keep track of this stuff since Julie's not. Damn, she wants a question. End of life.
End of life partner, by the way. That's a little different. I fed the pigeons. Oh, wow.
Did you feed with your right hand or left hand? Does that matter?
I don't know.
Interesting.
I would say the vast majority of the population are right-handed, so it would probably make more sense to be.
He's in transition.
Ah.
You're between Darian. I'm tuning into you, Darian. Clearly hearing you're between two worlds. You've got a very gentle energy about you. And I don't sense that you're very controlling, which is good. I'm not complaining. But you're sensitive. And the sensitivity is...
yeah. Unless we actually take the time to pay attention, that those kind of things definitely would be easy to miss.
But they're saying don't be too complacent.
Hmm.
You're not needy, but the words I got was you're too complacent. So you've got to take some action. I've said this before to people, in the days of newspaper and one ads before internet, if you wanted to get a job, you had to take the effort or make the effort to go buy the newspaper. Then you had to bring it home. Then you had to actually open the newspaper. Then you had to actually look at the columns that were particular to your situation. What I'm getting at is if you don't put some motivational energy behind it, you're just going to stay where you are. That's like pushing a car that doesn't run. You can push it, leave it in the street and walk away, or you can take some energy and clear the space.
For those of us that are really old, you had to judge just at what speed you get in the car to, you can make it around into the door and pop the clutch and get it started that way, right? Like,
that's true. Or wait for somebody to hit you and give you momentum. Then pop it up. You didn't notice which hand.
Yeah. No court stuff though. Ooh, that's interesting. Why would we ask that question?
No, I get that you're very level at the moment, but you're not looking up and you're not looking down. You're transitional. You're between. Are you in one job and leaving a job and going? Is there a relationship shift? Something? You're transitioning out of something, but you're not into the next thing yet, whatever that is. So I don't know whether to a relationship. I don't get that it's a relationship. You're too calm. I think it's either a court thing. Oh, I remember now. You were talking about the court stuff. But you're very relaxed, so I don't see what the problem is. What are they saying? Continue. They're showing me you walking down what I would call a country road. And here a country road would be 2 lanes just going on forever with nothing but terrain on either side. And you're just aimlessly walking down this road to nowhere. Why are you going nowhere? You don't know where you're going, but you're enjoying the trip. That's not a bad idea.
That's actually quite healthy, I would say.
Yeah, if you're doing and so I think you're doing better than you're giving yourself credit for. So in terms of your question, which was vision for you, they're saying enjoy the walk. I'm assuming you're getting food every day and you have a place to sleep. But he's taken in the sights.
Yeah, but I think that goes back to that bird portion we were talking about, right? While the bird might appear to be lazily in the sky with the wings spread or whatever, it's still very much looking. It's still on the lookout, so to speak, for that opportunity, that place to suddenly take some quick action or whatever. So following through and being okay with the journey, and yet always on the lookout for new places that we could act and make sudden discharges or something.
Yeah, I like that. You're enjoying the ride. I think that's great. So as for your next couple of weeks, keep what's a road trip?
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that where you live, we refer to a road trip as just getting in a car and taking off and going wherever the car leads us.
Pretty much aimlessly,
Yeah.
kind of just heading in one general direction for the moment.
And that's,
Yeah.
but there's something waiting for you. Something's going to pop up in the next couple of weeks. I'm getting 3. I want to say 3 weeks. If that is anything that resonates with you, play with that. And but I get good feelings for you. I get good energy, but I get very neutral. There's nothing looming over you. There's nothing hovering over you. Nothing about them. Oh, was this legal thing you were in? Transitional. Maybe you're getting in and out of that. I think things are going well there for you. So keep me posted on that.
That sounds very exciting to me. You know, he said good. I'm like, yeah, I think that's exciting. That's good stuff.
But
Yeah.
You're easily, you know, when some people are easy to please and they're okay with
Anything and everything.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's what the energy I'm picking up.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's cool.
Go, be happy.
That's fantastic.
And Pamela, when is my end of life partner? Are you on? How many dating sites are you on? That'll speed things up or bring things to an end. Whatever.
Well, I mean, whatever fits, I guess.
No news is best news for me. Good.
Yep.
I think that's great. I'd like to be that way when I grow up. You were asking me this morning what I want to be.
Yeah.
I want to be okay with everything. Kirby doesn't know me that way. He walks in the door and I start complaining.
I don't know about complaining. You have a lot of questions.
I do. I always have a lot of questions. You're welcome. You're welcome. Pamela. No dating site. Well, you can't win if you don't play. Something like that.
I don't know. My grandmother used to say, "Go to church." You want to find a partner, go to church.
Go to church. Pamela. You don't want a partner.
Uh-oh.
You are blocking this, my dear. You're living a sheltered existence out of fear of loss. And you know me on my snarky side. I'm not being snarky there, but you got to open your heart, kiddo. And I've experienced that when you've been here at the classes and stuff. I know what you're going through. I know what you're looking for. We all do. But they're saying, shelter yourself. Why would you be sheltering yourself?
Well, the story of the 3 little pigs comes to mind.
Go for it.
Right. So the first little pig builds a house out of straw, and it's easily blown over. So the first couple of times we're trying to figure out what it is that we like or don't like, and we're just experimenting, right? So we're expecting that we're going to get blown over. With that experience, though, we either learn to be more rigid in how we present ourselves and more protective, and so we start building towards the brick, the stone kind of castle where nothing can blow it over, or we learn to be more forgiving and kind of work through, find that middle ground, so to speak. I think that many times people are so deathly afraid of being hurt that they'll keep everybody at an arm's length. Yeah.
That's what I get there.
Yeah. So, the risk being connected to the world, but not so emotionally attached, so to speak, that we're easily hurt and easily distressed. Finding that middle path.
As I know you, Pam, you get close and then I watch you emotionally back away. And I'm not saying that to be snarky. I say that out of concern. I've seen your body language. You've seen somebody. How could I explain it? Start to hug somebody, then they pull back.
Oh, okay. So they're going in, and then last minute kind of change. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
She's very sensitive to body energy, other people,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
crowds and stuff. So when you realize that, oh wait, this is starting to feel good. Ooh, trigger point.
Red flag.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of run back.
Starts to feel good. Oh, this can't be good. It feels too good.
I like being alone, but I've done work, and I'd like to share that with someone.
Oh, I get it. I think it's perfect. But I think you'll have to find somebody that's been through what you've been through, so you're on common ground. you're articulate and can explain all of that, and they're coming. I hear 6 months. Do with that what you will. I did hear 6 months, but I'm hearing cautionary. Why would I be hearing cautionary? Don't jump at the first one. You know what to do. You're no dummy. I've met you. Yes, exactly. On the healing thing.
Well, I would caution with that personally. No, in any relationship across the globe, nobody. Well, he did say 6 months is what was coming to him. Don't know if that's the one or if that's the first of one.
Do you want the bus number? I don't have it.
Which terminal in the airport? So anyway, no two people are at the same place in any relationship across the planet, right? So one of us will be very much on the path of growth and development, and the other might be in a place where things are really good and I'm not really interested in expanding that or whatever, right? So sometimes we find that partner, that one that we're kind of looking for, not because they're currently in the same sphere, but because they're capable of, right? So when we're looking for that, we got to sometimes have a little bit of a balance of not, are they currently in that cycle or are they capable of being in that cycle? And it's going to ebb and flow. Like one's going to be, I'm good, I don't really need to change. And the other one's going to be, nope, it's time to mix things up and things. And then it'll go back and forth, right? So that's a normal relationship.
I also want to throw in something that I've heard lately and made sense to me. You can't learn to love by isolating yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get wet if you don't jump in the pool, if that makes any sense. You learn to love by interacting with people, and what Kirby was talking about, all the interactions that can take place, the give and the take, and being able to identify with another person's situation. But as I know you've got to be that sense I have of you of getting too close, it's a trigger for you and you pull away. You've got to get past that. I would tell you, drop the trigger and just jump in there anyway and see what happens. And then you'll be older and wiser.
Well, maybe not older, but definitely wiser.
Yeah, it happened pretty quick. 5 or 6 minutes. I don't know if that helped, but 6 months. You're going to be in Wisconsin until like when? Next January? Yeah, you could meet him by then. I'm seeing something with the train. Are you around trains, or you drove both ways? I don't know why you would be on a train. Go hang out at the train station. I hope that helps. I don't know. Scooter Pam, what are you up to? Crowd is light today.
Yeah, they're doing their Friday morning things, whatever that is.
I know Julie's not here. I'm not the star. It's Julie.
Oh, that's got to be an ego burst.
Yes, next January. Next January. That's long. She was out here for the winter.
Train lot lizard.
What does that mean?
Well, I know it for the trucking industry.
Oh, okay.
A lot lizard is somebody that kind of hangs out at like fuel stops and things like that, looking for the lonely truck driver kind of thing. That's a lot lizard. So she's saying, just hang out by trains rather than
I had one
cargo.
Grocery one time in West Phoenix. I didn't know what it was. I'm going, huh? Oh, you want that?
No thanks.
She wanted change.
And
then I went, oh, I get it now.
Trying to find the meaning of life.
Kirby and I were just talking about that this morning. We talk about it every time we get together. At least I do.
Ding, ding, ding. Winner, chicken dinner. Is that what we're talking about right now?
When we could all look at this together. We were, because I see life change turning on a dime. Oh, a local friend, Andy, you haven't met him, was talking about his life cycles in fours. He was in the military for 4 years. He was in college for 4 years. Then the next thing happened. I didn't realize that hi Kevin, COVID wiped him out financially, family-wise.
Oh, wow.
We were talking about that, and I haven't met a lot of people that happened to. It had to. My life didn't get hit that hard with it, but you forget about that.
Mm-hmm.
People going through that. Hi, Kevin.
And Mr. Beanie.
And Mr. Bean. Mr. I always think of the English guy.
Mr. Bean.
Yeah.
I think that probably trying to avoid a little bit of a conflict of stuff there.
Maybe it is Mr. Bean.
Yeah. Julie's, I don't know, can we say vacation? I mean, she's with her granddaughter, so is that, I mean.
She's on a family outing.
Family outing, I like that.
Someone who is spiritual, strong like yourself. You love yourself that way. Kevin pops in here. Kevin, meet Kirby. Kirby, meet Kevin.
Hey,
Kevin,
Mr. Kevin.
Kevin is one of our.
I think he was on last time we were here too.
Oh, I
I'm
can't
pretty sure.
shift this. That's not good.
What are you breaking over there?
I'm trying to scroll back down. It won't let me scroll.
Interesting. Okay.
So I have to get this photo coming through, Mr. Bean.
So
we'll be back next week.
So that's why maybe we started off kind of slow like we did. Oh, we missed Katira.
Katira. Hi, Katira. You're in Houston, right? Excuse our technical differences this morning. It's me and Kirby holding down the fort, just lurking today. Okay, good. Well, you can sure pop in here anytime you want, Kevin. I can always use your help. Kevin was, yes, I got so much to give, but I'm not willing to be codependent. Ooh, that's my Pam. I know her. This guy has to be able to give as much as I give. You want somebody to meet you in the middle there, my dear.
That's totally doable.
Yeah.
I don't know, Mr. Kevin, who's talking, so I'll have to parlay that a little bit.
He's very good. Yes, Houston. Katira. I've talked to Katira on the phone a few times. Everything good in your world, Katira? We got Pam. I try to think. Pam keeps pulling me back. And then people talk amongst themselves on here too. That's it.
Mr. Beanie would like a general message.
Let's try Mr. Beanie. Do I have Kevin's just hanging Mr. Beanie? Let's work with him.
All right.
Mr. Beanie. When I warn people about saying they want a general meeting because look out.
Yeah. You get exactly what you're looking for. Strap on, buckle up.
Having said that, they're saying you're being lazy, and I want to go with self-indulgence. It's sort of like eating food you know it's not good for you.
But dude, that chocolate cake looks really spectacular.
You've been eating a lot of chocolate cake, Mr. Beanie. I'm getting complacent, so you're disenchanted. I want to go work. I want to go, and there's some relationship stuff in there as well. But they're saying don't give up. You're on the right road. Actually, is the word they're using. You're looking, but you're not looking hard enough. You know, I'm getting a picture of you looking under rocks, but you're not looking under the big rocks. You're looking under the little rocks that are easier to pick up. They're saying dig deeper. Does that resonate for you? Katira, question. Do you have a small little, I'm getting a dachshund for you. I don't know why I would be engaged in having a dachshund show up in your energy, but I am. I'm just throwing that out there.
That's really funny, actually, because now you have two ideologies, so to speak, working on the same thing. So dachshunds are very much, hunters, that they are small enough they can go underground.
For going
like getting moles and mice and things like that. So here it is, like, lifting up all the big rocks and looking underneath there and not being complacent, and also having something that is super active and out there finding this stuff for you, so to speak.
If dig deeper for secrets, then yes. One more thing, Pam, just no dots in LOL. Is it dots and docs? Doc.
In German, it means dog. It means roof dog. Don't know why. I don't think they were used to the roofs for anything. But
slide down the gutters.
I was actually always thinking about that. Were they used by chimney sweeps? you know, as a way of kind of verifying they've cleaned off the.
Interesting.
I don't know. I have no idea why they'd be a roof dog.
It was just funny. She popped up and I saw this dachshund running by. Wiener dog. Kids call them.
Yeah. Mr. Beanie, so searching for secrets resonated with you? Is that where you are right now? You're kind of looking for the secrets of life or the secrets of well-being or something along those lines?
I think he's going through.
That's okay. It's a German word. It doesn't count.
I'm not the best. That's okay. We still love you. But the deeper thing, what I get, he's in one of those end zone. I've been there. If I'm not even there today, about okay, now what? All of this. It's like there's that book Conversation with God where Walsh is talking to God and says, "How many lives have I lived?" And God tells him 800 and something. And he says, "This is all the further I've come." And I've had that feeling. I've put all this work in, and this is all the farther I've come. Secrets to do with relationship.
I don't know. Sean Croxton talks all the time about little by little, a little becomes a lot. You know, he talks about it all the time. So we do this tiny bit, and you do this tiny bit, you do this tiny bit, and you do this tiny bit. It's really easy to look at, man, I've been doing all these little tiny bits and I'm nowhere, until one really stops and looks and sees how much those tiny bits have added up, and you're miles ahead of where you were, but it happened in such a small increment that it's easy to ignore or to miss.
You know what? Along those lines of thought, you don't realize when you meet somebody that it doesn't, you know, when you throw this stuff out you're used to thinking about, and they look at you and you go, huh? Then you realize how much you know, because if you can relate to that person at a young age.
Well, the meaning of life is so completely personal. So in Chinese medicine, there are 5 souls, if you will. There's a soul associated with the lung. There's a soul associated with the spleen. There's a soul associated with the liver. There's a soul associated with the kidney and with the heart. And 4 of those 5 are this existence only. Once this journey is finished, they're gone. They go away. The special one, the whole soul associated with the liver, is eternal. And so part of the idea of reincarnation comes from the Hun returning back to what the Chinese called the Tao, the great nothingness, the All Father, the Creator, whatever, however, it doesn't really matter, kind of comes back and it gets redistributed with the mixture of the other 4 souls to make a new existence. Nikola Tesla and Henry Ford were both very famous for taking time during the day and specifically working to connect with that great nothingness and bring back ideas. That was where all of the existence of mankind, in our particular case, is always stored, right? So we can get new ideas on doing things and ways that have been tried and maybe weren't successful, right? Bring those back into the here and now to create a new experience, a new way forward, right? So that meaning of life is in that regard a blend of this that is permanent and surreal with this that is absolutely mundane.
I'm thinking.
You have that look in your eyes that says, this has triggered something, but I'm trying to, how do I
process it?
Yeah.
Well, I was going back to Pam.
Yeah.
I hate you, Pam. You keep pulling me back in here.
He means that with the most love and respect possible.
She keeps yanking on me. Maybe I missed you. You're Mr. Right, and you missed the boat when you were here. I don't know.
Yikes.
Hate it when that happens.
No woulda, coulda, shoulda there or anything. I mean.
But what was I going to tell her? Something, it was very profound. I'm sure it was.
You didn't write it down. It doesn't exist.
No, I'll think of it in a minute. Anyway, Kevin is talking about, isn't everybody looking for the meaning of life? We all, but what comes across my radar is I can line up 10 people and I've got 10 different needs for the meaning of life.
Correct.
Sort of like salesmen and water equipment. They each have their own version of what they're selling,
right.
even though it's
right.
all the same thing.
It's all the same thing.
But
Probably comes out of the same China factory.
Yeah. But I remember just some mentoring lately said that really all there is just experience
Mhm.
and being open to that experience.
Right.
And who's to say which way it's going to take you?
But even with that, it can only take us where we're meant to go, right? I can share some of the most amazing, some of the conversations you and I have had. I can share those same conversations with somebody else, and they'll go, "That's completely retarded. Like, why are you even talking about that?" Right? Because that's not really where they are, and you can lead the horse to water, but you can't make the horse drink.
Boy, have I experienced that one more than once. Secrets, Mr. Penny, relationship. Oh, you were asking about relationships, Mr. Penny. Maybe I got off track here. To do with relationships. So, are you looking for secrets, or you have the secrets to relationship?
It almost sounded like he was digging deeper for those secrets.
Okay, so he's dealing. You know, the fastest way I've learned to connect, and if you have the discipline to do it, and I struggle with it because it is to go into that third eye room that Julie and I talk about, where you visualize that other person in your mind, talk to them in your mind, because you're talking to them at a different level. You can ask them just point blank, blunt, honest questions, but be prepared for the answers, because that's what will come back.
Yeah.
I've had that happen. I'm going, whoa.
I didn't want to know.
Yeah. But if you want to know the real, what's that word?
Looking to expose the secrets. Yeah. He's looking to expose the secrets. He's saying.
Looking to expose the secrets.
But that third space, that's a very valuable, or third eye space. That's a really valuable secret, so to speak.
It's had.
Oh, there's Julie.
There's Julie.
Oh, we didn't start that this morning with the almighty morning.
No,
so she's throwing that in there now for us. Thank you.
I said it, but I was muted or something. Okay, here's what you do. Everybody exercise. Kevin's asking. I'm going to explain it real quick. Everybody close your eyes, and I want you to visualize a Christmas tree at first. And then once you visualize a Christmas tree, I want you to visualize this is in your mind, a Christmas tree, then a school bus, and let's say you visualize your significant other with your eyes closed. Wherever this is happening, and it should be right up here in the middle of your forehead between your eyes, that's your vision center. So now you visualize this other person in your vision center, and you visualize them in a room, whatever environment you feel comfortable with, and you just start talking to them. And you don't have to say please, thank you, or excuse me. You just hit them with the facts. Hey, what's the deal here? You don't have to be nice. and I say that just because you can be direct. You don't have to beat around the bush. Whereas if you've got somebody in front of you, your cultural body language, all this stuff gets in the way, and fear of confrontation, all of that stuff. But you're talking to them at a different level, and you're going to get the baseline information.
And this can be powerful stuff. So the president of the acupuncture school that I graduated from had this. Please move to YouTube. Uh-oh, did we do something wrong? So she had a employee that really wasn't pulling their weight, wasn't really doing their job, and she did this exercise, and she in this third room space really encouraged this person to move on, to find some other place, to seek greener pastures, and to really pursue what made them joyful, happy, and productive individuals. And the really cool thing, within I think 36 hours of going through that exercise, this person came to the president and said, you know what, this isn't really working. I've got a dream opportunity. I'm out. And the whole thing kind of came together. So it really, honestly, like Scott was saying, be careful. Like you will get almost immediate results. You will have feedback that maybe you weren't ready for.
Totally. And Pam, while I'm thinking about it, this fresh off the press for you, you've got to learn to be emotionally available. FYI, damage in the past has caused you to shut down, and that happens to all of us. But don't be afraid to open the doors. And when you talk about the right person will show you that you can, I believe that, but persons of the past can close us down, and that's what you've got to shake off, because we think by shutting down we're going to protect ourselves, but you don't learn anything that way. You're shut down and you're protected, but life stops because you stop evolving by running into those, shall I say, experiences.
That I have oftentimes when you're talking about those things is polishing a diamond. When a diamond comes out of the ground, you wouldn't think it's anything, and in fact, it's
Piece of glass.
yeah, and well, sort of, yeah. It's only with the master craftsman coming in and removing the things that don't make it shine and bringing out the luster and the certain way it's shaped and all those things that suddenly it becomes valuable.
So are you polishing your diamonds, Pan?
All this should be, truthfully.
Yeah. Okay, we've got people talking amongst themselves. I lost the thread there. That's okay. It's interesting though when, like, Kevin comes on, people learn from their
Right.
input also.
That's one of the best.
That's why I don't ban him.
Right. I love that though, because I find it in my own practice, I can say the same thing to somebody 10, 15 times, and it just like I hear these funny words, but I don't know what it means. And then their naturopath or their chiropractor or their best friend or their cousin's second husband's third daughter's whatever, and they're like, huh, that's a really good idea. Okay, cool. I've done my job. It's time to move on.
Why is Julie moving everybody? Facebook,
I don't know. I mean,
we will let Julie handle that.
right.
I should do what, Kevin? I'm sorry, what? What did I do?
Or didn't do.
Well, that was my mother. You didn't do this. You didn't do that. You should do this.
Should is such a weird word.
So should is a big trigger for me. Huh.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Militantly positive. Oh, I like that, Kevin. That means, what's that word? What's that song? I won't back down.
Oh, yeah.
Who sang that? I won't back. Are you one of those, Kevin? What? I love this poster I saw in college. It was in my college days, it was cool to have posters in your living space.
Ban me. No, definitely not.
There was a picture you saw. There was this little mouse, and the mouse is flipping off this hawk that's about to. You see the hawk coming in the picture, right. And the mouse is defiantly flipping him off.
Yep.
And the caption was "Defiance in the face of death."
I something similar. I saw a crane with a frog in its mouth, and the frog's got hands around the crane's throat, right? You know, like resilience or something like that. You know, so in other words, one of us is going down, maybe both. Tom Petty.
I've seen some posts on Instagram about these cats that jump in the water to go after alligators.
Yeah.
You know, or the snake has the alligator, but the alligator has the snake.
Right.
And they're rolling around. I don't know who wins.
There was a something I saw recently. A jaguar pulled an alligator up on the land, because on the land the alligator can't fight him. In the water, the jaguar can't win. But that was, you know,
I've seen that.
Like life happens.
What are they thinking? Tom Petty, yes. Julie, she comes up with a lot of songs when she's here. I think
Julie, he was talking about handling the whole transition Facebook to that other one, YouTube and all that stuff. I think that's what we were putting you in charge of. I say we. It was definitely a joint decision. Yes.
You're outnumbered here. She doesn't have the control she's used to.
Control is a human construct. It doesn't exist.
Okay, somebody else come up with some wit and wisdom here. I'm running out of things to chew on.
Okay. Did we get everybody's questions? Let me scroll back here a little bit.
Oh, if you can scroll there, that's great.
Yeah.
Because I can't. I've got Katera. Katera, did you have a question, or were you just popping in to say hi? Katera?
That's a really cool name, by the
It
way.
is. It's unusual.
That's a really, really cool name.
She has a lot of perk in her personality. She was telling me about things going on in Texas.
I really am interested about the dachshund, though. That's where I'd like to hear more about that.
She said she doesn't have one.
I know. That's why I'm saying it's
Why?
like why
Are you
was
going
why?
to get one?
I mean, who plans on getting a little dog like that?
I don't see him when I'm out in people's houses. I don't see him very often. I want them, but they're usually barky.
Yeah, and they're very territorial. They also get injured very easily. Little stubby legs, big long back. Bad idea.
This dog came out one day. It had the body of a big dog, these little tiny legs, but he didn't know the difference. And it was an older dog at the time, and I was reaching down to pet it.
Tried to bite your hand off.
Well, no, he was really friendly, but I said, "What happened to your legs?" And I said, "You need to tell somebody about this. This poor little thing had the shortest legs and the biggest body, just nothing matched."
Some sort of corgi mix, huh?
Yeah, it could have been something like that. Some
Yeah.
strain.
Yeah.
Don't you ever wonder how something mates with a dachshund that, you know?
Oh, humans did that. That's totally like, this is going to be great, guys. Let's see what happens. Hold my beer.
There was some guy that posted, he was holding a rabbit that was this big.
Yep, I've seen those. Yeah.
Select, you know, in the wild, it would last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Just because it can't move.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought, messing around with genetics. And what do you
Right.
do with a rabbit that's this big?
Take it in the house and treat it like a pet. I don't what else. It's probably not edible. So I'm sorry for anybody that's
I wonder, you know, how much meat is on a rabbit this big.
it's got to be more than the rabbit that's this big.
I've never eaten rabbit that I've been aware of.
It's
Is anything adding? Nothing's happening here.
yeah. I think we've asked all the questions that have come up so far.
And I could whine about my life.
All right, that sounds like a good plan. That gives us something to talk about anyway.
We can go on for hours.
Uh-oh. Katira has messages for you. Well, obviously the dachshund was in there somewhere.
Okay.
But I wonder if that's more like a hunter kind of thing. I wonder if somebody is, yeah, like so going out and making things done, but like going into ways that we don't really necessarily think about, perhaps.
Oh, the symbol of a dachshund.
I just dream of owning a compound with my sons, having their own homes on it. 30 acres, donkeys, chickens, pool, outings, gardens. When is that happening?
Oh, don't worry. Don't do it just every new moon. Do it once a day.
Repetition is the king of creation.
Abraham Hicks, and now I'm hearing it from other
Hi,
sources.
Mr. James.
They're talking about, manifesting, and even
Oh, I took care of a lady who had one of those dogs. She's passed now. That was from Katira.
did you bond with that dog by chance? The dog's passed, or the lady who had the dog passed? But I want to get Katira. If you were talking about diamonds, but they're showing me you holding your hand, your right hand, looking at jewelry, a big diamond on your right hand. But I see you admiring it. Why would you be admiring jewelry on your right hand? What have you? Something's just come into your life lately that you're very, I don't know, I want to say tickled with, admiring. You're very glad to have it. You look at it and you go, oh, just melt.
Oh, that's that new shiny,
Appreciation.
sparkly.
Yeah, something. What just
Named everyone Sam. That's off. That's strange.
everyone? It's just like this is. I'm Daryl. This is my other brother Daryl.
Yeah. And our other brother Daryl. Yeah.
Yeah. So
We call him D.
she bought 5 of those dogs. Every time one died, she'd buy another one. Swap out compound for living home.
So that's Kevin talking back to Pam. Yeah.
So Katira, so something's entered your life that you are
You got James on the list.
you got some deep appreciation going on for something. You might even close.
Huh. Interesting. Yes, you hit the nail on the head there.
There we go. You're wearing it on your right hand, correct? But there's energy in that ring that that's either comforting, or there's something surrounding that jewelry. It's fueling her somehow.
Well, there are those that say that people don't become haunted, items become haunted, and then that can really honestly just be the energy. I mean, gemstones and things are very strong, very powerful at storing an energy or whatever. Yeah.
Psychometric.
Yeah.
Way.
Yeah.
Okay, so those rings are good for you. Yes, Kevin and Pam should come on.
That would be fun.
We've had this interaction. I said, okay, we should have the Pam and something show, or we should have we've done that.
That's cool. Don't forget that James asked for a reading too when we're done here with the tour.
Down.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Ah.
Okay, well, I guess I don't care, but the hand they were showing me was the right hand specifically. And you're going,
So where does the gold ring with the green jewel come from? The other one was from your grandma. Where did this one come
I
from?
thought you were married. Aren't you wearing those other rings? Those other rings that say "Do not touch."
Did they really say that?
Except on secret rendezvous. It's the right hand. Anyway, well then, that's as much message. But whatever it is on that right hand, energetically, it's beneficial to you, or it's pleasing to you, or you are enjoying it. It's uplifting, I'm hearing. So whatever memories or connections you have with that is have you ever heard, what a worry stone is?
Yep.
When you worry, you pick up the stone, and it can be your worry stone. And something about just touching it. I don't know. That's interesting, whatever the connection is with you and that thing. And James, I've got you on my list for playing with Katira. Did that make any sense, Katira? And
Patience, young Padawan. Breathe. Let things flow the way they're supposed to.
yeah, let's not here. It is Jeff. She's in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
We've had her on the line. She and Jess will banter. Oh, well, shoot. I didn't come after you because I thought you were married.
So there is hope.
Shoot, I was being polite to her on the phone.
So it's interesting that the ring came from the house that you're about to flip. I'm assuming that this is a really good thing, and you're really very excited about the whole process.
Okay, I didn't connect any of those dots.
I mean, she just said that, so that's.
Did you find this ring in a back secret corner or something? Cannot touch yet. Hang on, James. We will be here in a minute. You're up next. And this RV I've got in the backyard, I was tearing out the back part of it.
Yep.
Down behind the toilet in a secret compartment under a shelf was a big crystal thing that somebody and the woman I bought it from probably forgot it. She had buried it.
Oh, wow.
I brought it into my current roommate, and she said, "Mine."
You were like, smack. Not until I say so.
I sent it off. It went with her. It's okay. It was big. It was gaudy. It was on the chain. I thought, why would anybody wear that?
Yeah.
But somebody put some value on it. I don't know who.
Right.
Scooter Pam and don't touch it. It's okay. The don't touch rings. Okay, so you're not wearing don't touch rings. Okay, whatever it is, you're having fun with them.
Right.
And it's all, that one that you just found, that thing's got some magic in it. Whatever
Nice.
magic is.
Nice. Little leprechaun hanging out in the emerald.
The universe left it for you. Somebody's gift to you. Wait a minute. How did you get into this house that was flipped? Do you have, what about the grandmother? I'm ring is my grandmother's ring in the green gold ring. Something about the grandmothers. You were close to the grandma. Okay, so that explains it.
And she did find it in a corner, Scott. Yeah.
Well, it was meant for you, my dear.
Right.
Keep the house, sell the ring. Excellent. Well, it was a gift from somebody for you. But that ring, ooh, what is it with that ring? It's almost like there's a wizard. I'm just getting something.
Like the Wizard of Oz? What's
Something around it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all very positive. I don't mean that this is demonic, but it was somebody had either used that ring or it was involved with a person who wore it, got into. It's all positive energy. That's interesting.
Well, in Chinese medicine, green is all about springtime. It's all about the energies of the liver, the expansion, growth, development, achievement. It's a pretty powerful.
It's almost got some protection.
Yeah.
Wear the thing a lot, especially on dates. Keep away all the riff.
All the riffraff.
Why do we?
That could be used, just for the record. Just.
Good for you. I hope that helps. I hope that gave you some uplifting things to think about. And we've got.
If we're all done with that, we need to go to James.
Yeah, James is good. Okay, James, if you're ready, what you got? Or what do you want? Tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
Let's see here. He didn't ask a specific question. He just said he wanted to read.
Yep. Yep. I'm getting some sadness around you, James.
Uh-oh.
Are you with us? I'm hearing you depleted.
Ooh.
Disappointment. What's got you down, man?
Depleted.
She's not worth it. Now he's disappointed. I get big disappointment. Somebody let him down. Earth to James, come in, James.
You can't break our viewers like this, my friend. We need them. So
I hope everybody understands me. They've been around me enough.
Finances and love.
Okay, did anything I just said before that? Not too far. Yeah, the green one that's huge. Finances and love for James.
Oh, we kind of touched on the love, right? A little disappointment.
That's where I'm going with it. I think we've got disappointment going on in the love arena.
Oh boy, whoever asked that question is going to be in big trouble.
Yeah, you can see how well we're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I've been married since I was 22, so it's been a minute.
He's an expert. I've been in and out of it.
I don't know about an expert. I make his
Are
actually
any of us experts? I wonder about that.
If expert means make mistakes all the time, dude, I'm there.
The best example that I ever ran into, and I'm waiting for James to show up, this couple in Scottsdale I was working for. They'd been together since they were late teens.
Okay.
And trials and tribulations, and she looked at me, but she was so easy to talk to. She said they grew up together.
Yeah.
And she said it in such an energetic, it just hit me. Right? She said, but you got to have the courage or willingness or desire, whatever you want to call it. I was thinking about it to endure those, because I thought I had to think about it. So I would look at all the growing up I've done and been just on my own.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're wrestling, if you want to use that word, with that other person and what they're going through, and you're both trying to find your way in the dark, and nobody's there to guide you. It becomes weird.
Yeah, there's a, and I don't know if I'm going to say it right, but there's a concept in Buddhism that we should become the light that leads others. So as we work through our stuff, others will kind of catch on to that spirit and kind of follow along on their own path, of course. But we become the inspiration in many cases to move that forward.
I've always been aware of, if you're not going this way or this way, you end up going this way. But maybe that's like you were talking about earlier. It's the end of a journey or.
Mm-hmm.
people come together for the duration they need to come together.
Right. Do we have anything for finances for Mr. James? We talked a little bit about love while we're waiting for him to respond or whatever.
He's level, but I'm hearing the word treading water.
Mm.
And he doesn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
I mean, we all struggle with that. But he's not where he needs to be. Where you are is like, okay, it's not bad, it's not horrible, but it's not terrific. But I'm hearing it's sustaining you, but you've got more to give. I don't know what area that's in, and I don't know what you are currently doing for employment. He's not, I'm hearing the word trivial. Trivial. Where do I go with finances?
Well, from what I'm hearing, it kind of reminds me, like, job is an acronym, just over broke. So in other words, an employer pays us just enough to keep us around, but not enough to thrive.
Well, as you say that, though, what I'm getting is your MO has been to depend on others. You've got the capability of sort of launching yourself, being your own boss kind of thing. I don't know what your industry is. That takes courage to do. I've done it. I don't know why, but
Why it takes courage, or why you've done it?
well, it had the courage to hang in there.
Gotcha. Yeah. The beginning is tough. Yeah.
And you've been through it.
Yeah.
If you aren't still there. and but they're saying you've got capabilities you're not exploring. You've got interests that you've always had. You know what they are, but you've been hesitant. I'm hearing hesitant to dabble. You've dabbled, but you haven't. Wait a minute. It's like the guy who likes to cook and wants to get a food truck, but you're afraid to go buy the truck. And they're saying launch yourself. I'm clearly hearing that. So what is it you want to do? But if it was no issue and you could do it tomorrow, what is it you're drawn to? Because they talk about do what you love and the money will follow. In theory.
The most sage advice I got when I was in acupuncture school, my instructor said to me all the time,
perfect opportunity.
Right? It's all up from here.
You got
Truthfully,
nothing to lose.
So one of my instructors taught his two sons, find something you love to do, make it such that you love it so much you would do it for free, and then find somebody dumb enough to pay you to do it. and then he'd end the story with both of his sons now make way more money than him. His one son immigrated to Australia and is making buku dollars, but he never gets to see the grandkids because they live in Australia. Right? So they got so good at it that they went way past any of his expectations, so to speak.
I don't know if I made the mistake. I went to college and took courses that I thought I should, based on the day and the teachings and the experience and the influence you had from your elders. And I took business classes.
Mm-hmm.
I should have taken industrial arts classes, building, because I'm always tinkering with something.
Mm-hmm.
But I never thought about it. But no harm, no foul.
Well, on the other hand, though, you think about it, the difference between industrial arts and business is the degree of hands-on interaction type thing, right? You in a business class, you're learning how to tinker, but it's tinker in a specific vehicle that is designed to make an income or a lifestyle or whatever. Whereas,
and the universe ran me where it ran me anyway. And I got there anyway.
Right. There are no mistakes.
Long road around. And unemployed, what have you got to lose? Why I keep seeing you with a hot dog cart. I know that sounds funny. A cart with an umbrella selling hot dogs out of it, or ice cream or something. But clearly, and you are happy as a clam. I see this big smile on your face. You're having a blast talking to the people, and you're standing there. There's a guy in town who he's got a three-wheeler, these big three-wheel bikes, and he's got a coffee rig on the back of it. And I think he hauls it to things like these farmers markets.
Okay.
And just sells coffee off the back of this three-wheeler. I ran into him the other day.
I mean, there are millions and millions of ideas out there for people to exploit and make it their own. Again, find something you're so passionate about, you do it for free,
I
and
was
then find
talking
people
to
to have
some
to pay
guy
for it.
the other day. Where was he talking about? It wasn't here. But long story, maybe it was in Tucson. Whoever this guy was, food truck thing, 4 nights a week he was at the same location selling these just out of the world hot dogs.
Mhm.
People would line up 20 deep, this
Wow.
guy said. And he talked to the guy. He asked him if he made any money. Well, the guy said, I got $5 and I paid cash for all their weddings. Who knew?
Right?
How many different hot dogs can you he would up. If you want mustard, it was this price. If you want sauerkraut, and I'm going, really? Just interesting. So,
Well, I think that the one thing that comes to me with that is people want to be pampered a little bit. They want to have, it doesn't matter what it is, their drink, their clothes, their car. They want it to be unique and personal to them, whatever. So, finding a way to personalize it and still monetize it's not such a bad thing.
but I'm thinking about, people who own businesses. A lot of small businesses like myself are dictated by the person and the personality involved.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
People know me because they know me, and
Ooh, full on depression, not just a little bit of down a little bit, full on depression.
I didn't get that. Well, depression is living in the past. Anxiety is living in the future.
Correct. So then, to become unemployed, did you give up something that you thought was spectacular?
The universe is pushing.
Mm-hmm. I see that quite frequently, actually. Like, I'm really, really good at what I'm doing, but it's also draining the life from me. And eventually, something has to give, and I'm in a free fall. Like, I really want to be doing that, but I wasn't enjoying it or wasn't making money at it or whatever happened to be. And so here I am. I'm given this other opportunity that I don't really want to take.
But you didn't answer my question. What is it you would do tomorrow if you could do it? And then I got into the food truck.
Yeah. Talk about a little bit of leading there. And anxiety.
Okay, so you live in the past and the future. I can tell where you're not. Okay. What does he need to hear? I have no idea what this means, but they said you are living in space that is not yours. What do we do with that?
Wow. Living in space is not yours.
No, that's a new one. Does that mean you're where you're not supposed to be,
or the things that you've been doing are not things that you're passionate about, things that people tell you have to do?
That I could go there. I was a flight attendant, and my training was in San Francisco. There was a girl in our class who all she talked about was teeth. One of the reasons she was there, her parents were Asian, and there was a family dictate, we want you to do this. She was there to be a flight attendant because her parents wanted her to be. And all she wanted to be a dental hygienist. She loved teeth. And about halfway into the training, I looked at her one day, we were eating lunch. I said, what are you doing here? All you talk to do is talk about teeth. She was gone the next day. But because of the family respect and the culture.
Right. That's a really tough one to break.
But I thought, wow, I must be powerful.
Please tell me you wished her well, so at least it went well.
I never even got to saw her. I mean, she was there one day and gone the next.
Right.
And I thought, that took some courage. If the dictates in that family are that strong,
right.
I mean, that was just like open defiance in a sense.
Well, I can honestly say, when I turned 17 and decided that my father and I were not ever going to get along, time to get out, time to move on. That was a really tough decision, even though I wasn't thriving at all in that situation and was expected to do exactly what I was told when I was told to do it and how I was told to do it.
Yeah.
That was still a really tough thing to kind of follow through with. So unfortunately, I think it's pretty easy to be in a space that's not yours.
But what I'm getting on you now, James, is they're showing me a picture of you looking in the mirror, and they're saying you have to take a long, hard look at yourself and see who you're looking at. Oh, you got crazy inside dialogue. Okay, what are you beating yourself up about? You know, the wheels of I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, etc., etc., etc. All of that. They're saying give yourself more credit. The anxiety, I don't know if you got a bed at night or you're out of food. As long as you got food on the table and a roof over your head, you're doing pretty good. A lot of people around here are not in that situation. I see them every day. Depression going away in the future. They're saying you've got to choose your thoughts. A lot of this is, I have a gal that works for me. We talk about this stuff, and we had some situations that she couldn't understand why I wasn't upset.
Regrets.
And I looked at her and said, I don't like the way anger feels. So if you don't like the way anxiety feels, I'm being philosophical here, you've got the choice. You can stay there or you can get out of it. Unless you're just chemically deprived and you have no control over your thinking, which I don't think is the case. And regrets were simply experiences showing you where to go with the next step. Shoulda, woulda, coulda, that's something we all do. But the moral of the story was that was a what do I want to say? The universe showing you contrasts and giving you options, and you learn what you do want by finding out what you don't want. So every one of those regrets was just an experience showing you which way to go on the next move.
Here's a really cool qigong that might prove useful. There's a point in the center of the chest. It's the fourth intercostal space. For those that are anatomy challenged, it's in line with the nipples in the center of the chest. Right on the, I'll kind of come down a little bit so you can kind of see where my hand is. Right center of the breastbone. You want to hold that point, moderate pressure. Some people might need no pressure whatsoever. It's very tender. Some other people can do it a little bit more. What you want to really do, you're going to inhale through the nose, and you want to go all the way down. You want to visualize that breath going all the way down as deep as you possibly can. It's going to feel like your abdomen's expanding. I want you to just kind of envision that you're literally breathing through your feet. So you're going all the way down to the soles of your feet, nice and strong and steady, as far as you can. When you think you got enough, a little bit more, hold it. When you start to feel those thoughts, those things kind of vibrating and things moving around and that like that, then you start to very slowly, no pressure, just let it exhale. Just kind of, again, out through the mouth, very, very slow. If you do that a few times, what you should not start to notice is the thoughts start to change. Instead of being, I could have done this better, I should have said this, I would like that instead, what you might find yourself doing is more, wow, that was interesting. And that's a huge change. It sounds very subtle, but it's a huge change, because when it's something that was interesting, it piques curiosity. It brings us to a state of wonder. Like we want to be childlike, right? And that everything is completely new and never happened before and exciting, right? As opposed to sort of the old man, like, you know, there's one way to do things. As my father used to say all the time, there's one way to do things. There's two ways to do things, really, truly, but there's the wrong way and there's my way. If you just do it my way, we wouldn't have any problems, right? That's the two kind of thoughts. One of those is based on the human construct of control. It's based in fear. It's based in lack, like all of these things that we want out of. The other one is based very much in growth, in upward looking, and excitement and gratitude and all those kind of things. We change the very way that we perceive the world, and the world changes the way that it interacts with us. It's a really cool practice. I would say a couple, 3 times a day, every day, just to get to the ability to see all of the different angles, all the different perspectives that happen in the world.
Your depression going away, though, it'll go away if you decide you have had enough. And if you're talking about those regrets, let the regrets go. Make the decision that you're tired of feeling that way. And if you're unemployed, man, you got the world. The front door is wide open. You're not locked into anybody at the moment. I mean, you don't want that long term, obviously. And the regrets, get rid of those, because they just brought you to where you are now. And if you're practicing gratitude, focus there. And I like what Kevin said, every thought, deed, and word is a choice. That's just reiterating what we're trying to get across to you. Julie's got the three F words up here: forgive, freedom, and forward. And what else? I think that's all I can conjure up to throw your direction. But you've got, everything's ahead of you. I get good energy about you. I get good vibes about your next step. They're showing me this huge set of doors opening, and the sun's coming in, and the birds are singing outside, and the river's flowing, and there's flowers everywhere, and you're just walking into this. So they're telling me you're at the threshold. So get out of the regret zone, because that'll just hold you back. 100 years from now, none of this is going to matter anyway. So go run with that. I hope that helps. But I'm punching you. I'm not mad at you. I'm Kirby and I are just trying to urge you ahead. You're doing better than you think you are, and stop that internal dialogue. Instead of saying how rotten you are, say how wonderful you are. Because
Just notice the thoughts.
yeah, that's
Just truthfully, like when you notice you're doing that kind of stuff. What is it? The number one rule in well digging: when you find yourself in a hole, stop digging. So become aware of the thoughts, and then you can come back. Like, is that really true? Is that where I want to be? All those kind of things.
I like that. So, go be happy. Are we out of people?
I think we ran through everybody that I don't think we missed anything.
We have a half an hour. Usually we got people waiting in the wings here. So anybody want a rerun? Maybe anybody who's upset with what we told them and you want challenges? we can review. No. Okay. We'll talk amongst ourselves. Did I tell you two of my chickens got coyote?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, that happened last.
I see their feathers out there, and when I go let the other ones out, and I count everybody who I got left.
How often do you have to replace chickens?
Well, it's been a while since replace them that way. I had they were two good chickens though.
The coyote thought so too, obviously.
I hadn't looked at it that way. You're right. It was irrigation day or something, and I don't know whether my back gate was open. Not that they can't go over the wall, but could you read me as much as possible? Okay.
You didn't quite get the drinking from a fire hose experience yet.
Okay. Well, close your eyes, Kachira. Let's try something. I want you to close your eyes, and you can all do this, and just tune into your mind, and I want you to pay attention whether it's left brain, right brain, but I want you to ask with sincerity when you've got your eyes closed. Take a deep breath, relax, and say, what is it you would have me know right now? And while you guys are doing that, I had a reading with a gal a couple weeks ago, and we did that. And the tears started to come.
Mm-hmm.
It was crazy, and it was instant. And what came up for her was, you are enough. And it had to do with parenting, and trauma. But it was so, it blew us both out of the water. And it's sort of like going to the third eye room.
Right.
Only you're not talking, you're talking to them.
Right, to spirit.
It, or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Oh, Katira, here's what they're telling me. They're saying, we love your energy. You're open-hearted. Doors swing open for you, which means, do things come easy to you? Apparently, you find rings in corners. They're saying, bless your heart, but I see you throwing out a lot of heart energy to people. They're saying that's a good thing. But there's also times you need to pull back and regenerate. They're saying don't overdo it. Also, they want you to develop or tune into more sensitivity of, it's not wrong to throw everybody heart energy, but sometimes it's not in your best interest. More cautionary, who you're helping, and at times they're saying be more discerning. They're saying generally you do it pretty good, but there are some they're showing me these little dark creatures that sometimes you've had enter your life, and you're so willing to help and be open. Sometimes you've walked in the wrong room, kind of thing. But they're showing me my cat. You know, Kirby knows my cat, and I'll open the door for him at night or whenever he thinks he wants out. And there's this, he'll run to the door and he'll stop, and I can see him looking through the crack in the door, what's out there, what's not out there. He's analyzing the terrain, and then he jumps. But analyzing the terrain. Yeah, analyze the terrain a little bit better. You jump in, your heart jumps in before your logic does. So reverse it down, maybe balance it out a little bit more. That's what I'm getting.
Good advice.
And what did I say? Analyzing the terrain?
Analyzing the terrain.
We were in trance class last night, and when it was my turn to practice, they kept using the word rejuvenate. And they almost made a mantra out of it. They'd make a sentence and they'd say rejuvenate. They took us all down. The guy next to me was starting to go, this rhythm. It was doing it to me too, but I never used that word.
No.
Rejuvenate. But they were saying it was almost as a mantra, and how much more it meant than what people normally.
Looks like you hit it again, my friend.
We did. Good deal.
All right, so we're gonna have to do some adjustment here because I've got to get off and treat some pets.
You're gonna leave me alone
I am.
for half an hour?
30 minutes. You can handle it. 30 minutes. You got this, my friend.
So what happens?
Well, so what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna
We're
sign off.
having a technical discussion here.
I'm gonna sign off so that when I plug in your microphone, we don't have that, and you'll have to unmute yourself.
We'll do that to make sure it's all working.
Okay. So it's been a pleasure, y'all. Thank you so much for having me, and
He will be back.
as often as Scott can beg me to be here.
Yeah.
That's true. It's been a pleasure. I will see you guys.
Test it now.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Somebody just tell me whether you can hear me or not. Kirby's leaving me alone. I hope I can do this.
I know you can. I have lots and lots of faith.
Unless the grid goes down.
Thanks, Kirby. Okay.
Yeah,
Can
Pam.
you hear Scott though? That's the important part.
Earth to Pam, can you hear me? Julie, can you hear me? Maybe that would
Can
be.
anybody hear me?
Make sure this is still. Were we going through your computer, or were we going?
Yeah,
through...
we were using mine, so that's why I want to make sure everything's good before I split.
We hear. Turn on your mic and speaker.
Well, the mic is on.
This is on. My speakers in back are not. Are you talking about the speakers in the back of my computer? We can hear you. Okay, Julie has me now.
Good.
Okay.
All right.
We'll just do this. Thank you.
You're in good shape, my friend.
All right. We've talked about chickens. We've talked about Kirby and needles. Who else is out there? Throw me a question, somebody. Let's play with Gabe. Somebody give me a question that I know nothing about. Let's see what kind of answers we get. We've been experimenting with that. I have a cohort named Tina. Some of you know her, some of you don't. And we've been working on going into trance and doing trance channeling and whatnot, which is a little bit of what you see at the end of the show when Gabe pops in. But it's interesting when you're just sitting here analyzing people and what words come through that I can deliver that I have absolutely no knowing about what I'm talking about, except it does resonate to those hearing. Somebody give me a question, any question, philosophical or otherwise, personal. Okay, we'll go with Scooter Pam. Why is your ex messaging if he's lonely? Let's see what they say. Let me do a Gabe thing. Pam, if you don't mind me practicing here for a second. I'd be interested to know Gabe's take on that thing. Here's what they're saying, Pam. Your ex isn't really an ex. He's a life partner as such energetically. You will never be rid of him
And that is not to say rid as in like getting rid of a rodent or a pest. There is an energetic connection with you two from past lives, many past lives. There is an ongoing, shall we say, shift of tension between you two from one life to the next, and oftentimes you collide trying to work out the smooth ground you have not yet conquered. Those energies between you exist in a loving sense on the other side, and when you participate in physical existence, you collide and forget where you came from. The ongoing tension, here's my take on it, Pam. You've got this nailed down better than the ex, and I'm not saying that to shame either side. As the practice progresses, you're a better ice skater than he is, let's put it that way. He's learned some of the moves, but they're rough. As you two journey and skate together, his practice isn't as disciplined as yours, and that is not to say he is better than. Our inclination is to advise you as to how to view him as an individual, much like the ongoing teacher watches the younger students as they manipulate their playing on the playground and in the classroom. The teacher monitors them but lets them work out their own interaction. So, period. Where I'm going with this, Pam, is you're doing okay. The X is one of those things that's going to be there, and I would take it with a grain of salt. Derive from it what you can in a learning sense. It's like the best analogy I ever heard when a baby's learning to walk, and it is getting up for the first time and hanging onto a nightstand or whatever, and then they rock or balance and fall backwards. You don't yell at them for not standing on their own two legs because they don't know how to do it. So my suggestion to you is look at him through different eyes, rather than being vindictive or how could you do this or why didn't you do this. The problem is everybody at any given moment is doing the best they know how to do, or they'd be doing it differently. So I guess your outlook would be what I would advise you to. I don't think you're doing a bad job, but look at him as the child that's learning to walk. If you look at everybody that way, isn't that something, and I'm not biblically, shall I say, deeply educated, but there's a verse about Jesus and the sheep and the flock, and looking at humans as the flock. So look at him as one of the flock that you're tending, and just be the best example you can be, and you throw them positive energy and know they're doing the best they know how to do. I hope that, but let's go back to the specific. He's lost in a sense, and he's reaching out to reconnect. It's not in your best interest, is my sense, to deeply engage him. Certainly be courteous and wish him well, but you don't have to embrace unless that's something you want to do. Does that feel right? Question mark. He's in, when you are in a rough spot, you go back to what you're used to, where you've come from, because it's the most comforting thing you can come up with at the moment. And he's in transition emotionally for some reason, probably another situation or relationship, but you were solid ground for him. I don't know who pulled the plug, and that doesn't matter. Just whatever was there, you represented some strength. They're saying continuity. Something in you kept his circuits connected. Does that make sense? I want to go there with that. Anybody else got something deep and meaningful they want to explore? It's amazing if you get into this past life stuff, what comes up. I can give you all an example of some training I had originally that got me started on this stuff. I had a partner that we would take turns doing the exercises of the day or the teachings of the day from the guru. And on this one occasion, I'm working with her and I'm tending to her as the therapist would tend to the participant. And she was coming out of her trance vision story, whatever you want to call it. And the tears were running, and she said, "We've got to do this a different way." That's the first words out of her mouth. And the gist of the story was she realized in her regression that she and her current partner had taken turns killing each other in 8 different lives. So that's the impact you can get into with some of this stuff. When you look at people who are lingering in your life, okay, why are they here? What am I supposed to learn from this? And are we done yet? Maybe, maybe not. What are you supposed to learn about yourself? There's lessons in all of this stuff. And the messaging, I think, is just a temporary, until he finds his next distraction. I think you're on more solid ground than he is, Pam, and that's why he's drawn to you. So I hope that makes sense. Interesting that it was a couple of years. You know, something, when you talk about a couple of years, I'll just share this story. What I've run into lately is more than one person that has lost a spouse, and this would be like 2 to 6 years ago, and they're still wearing rings, or they still have their clothes in the closet, all of this stuff from the relationship. Not that I'm not guilty of that. It's funny how we hesitate to let go of things. Oh. He got remarried last fall. Okay, that's why he's calling you. Things are not going well. You know what? Because now he can compare that to what he had with you, and life is doing what life does. He'll have lessons in this one. Yeah. Nope. He's recalling the good times. Wasn't there a show about that called Good Times? Remember the good times. He's seeing the contrast I'm hearing. So he knows what he had with you, and now he's seeing what he has with this one, and he's going, wait a minute. And there's a void that he thought was going to be filled. That this is going to sound funny. They're saying that there's a void that he thought was going to be filled that only you can fill. He knows that, he can't identify it. I'm not saying he's coming back in your life, but it's just interesting how the energies connect all those dots. I thought I had, so Kevin, I thought I had a soul mate. Her spouse died. Turns out I didn't. You know, that soulmate, you probably had one, but you got to look at it in a different light. Reference, you're saying you thought you had a soulmate. Soulmates aren't necessarily that thing that saves you and makes life euphoria. Soulmate can be something that comes into your life that teaches you one of the biggest lessons you've got to have. The soulmate thing, I think, is misinterpreted. It's sort of like a Disney thing. People hear the name or the word soulmate, and they go, I want my soulmate. It'll be heaven. Well, soulmate can be hell. You got to go back and check out the fine print in the contract that you guys signed before you got to the shall I say, the arena. Okay, well, if you see that and you're aware enough to do that, that's good. The soulmate word always bothers me. I just, when I'm on dating sites, I just want to laugh and have fun, see what turns up. It's interesting the stories that you get from people's life. That's good. You know, the thing that I've read lately that made sense to me was, you know, when you're looking for somebody else, you want somebody that you feel safe with, first of all, but you want to end up with somebody that is your peace, not your frustration. And you want to be theirs as well, in terms of trying to figure out what to look for. I like what Abraham Hicks says, when you know what you don't want, then you know what you do want. Yeah, the contract. Well, I think it's in the fine print, Pam. We don't. People cross your path for a reason. And I'm just going to share this. I may have mentioned it before, but in my earlier years when I was learning about all of this stuff, my son and another woman's son got us to know each other through their relationship at their school. She knew I was a plumber, called me to do some work on her house. Turned out she was very tapped in, and I learned that she could do some light channeling. Long story short, her husband had died, and she was mad at him for dying and leaving her with 2 kids. And I'm listening to her say this, and she was mad, definitely mad. Somehow she could connect with him and talk to him, and she was expressing this anger, and she said his words were, wait, this was our agreement. And this was the agreement to him die early, leave her the kids. And I heard her say this, and I went, what? You know, in terms of that concept, that's where I learned it. So here you've got a man and a woman who said, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to have 2 kids. I'm going to leave early, and you take care of the kids, and see you later. Why? I don't know. I don't know. There's probably more to the journey than that. Maybe she had to learn to stand on her own, take care of things. It could be a million different things. But and Pam, like you're saying, your peace, not your frustrations. So early in the encounter, you want to look for that peaceful energy, whether it settles you. And I've been reading something lately, seeing stuff lately, that your body knows a lot of times before your mind knows whether a person is good for you to be around. And Pam could attest to this when she was here in Phoenix, the classes that we were at. You've probably seen this in church or any gathering. There are people you're comfortable sitting near and people that you just would rather back away from. So that's all on your radar. You got to learn to tune in. And Pam is saying your peace, not frustration, like that, and it becomes clear. And Kevin is iterating what I would agree with. You're still learning all this stuff. There's no goal line, guys and girls. I kept thinking that when I was younger. Okay, when I get this, then I'll be happy. And then you get that and you go, oh, wait, no, now it's the next thing I need to be happy. My mother wanted a swimming pool. This is when I was in high school in California. She thought the world was going to stop turning when she got her swimming pool and everything would be fine. We went through all of the swimming pool thing, and long story short, I remember her telling me about a month later, she heard herself saying, okay, I've got the pool, now what? So, you know what I know. Okay, Pam, yeah, remember those agreements. Or at least realize that what's happening was based on an agreement, probably. And Kevin is going to promise the world to Pam. Do you believe that, Pam? Not your frustration. Who else has anything interesting to ask? Any deep, meaningful questions that the universe may provide? I didn't get Scooter Pam. Did you? Well, yes, you did. You did get something out of that message. It was interesting. I've been doing more of that lately, you guys, so I'm practicing because I give them the credit where credit is due. And Kevin, what part of the world are you in? I think I've asked you that before, but I don't remember. I've got Kevin. I know Pam's in Wisconsin. Mr. Beanie is no. And Katera is noting, stay present in the moment, enjoy the now moment as much as possible. It's the journey, that's the adventure, not the finish line. Yes, I don't know. And I totally agree with you, Katera. I've heard that so many times in my own, and I'm not making light of it, I'm verifying or validating your statement. Kevin's in New York, okay. Are you in like New York, New York? Are you on the outside skirts in where there's hills and grass? Or are you in the buildings or what? Western, okay. I've been to New York City one time, twice. The last time was after 9/11. Good deal, beautiful day. And that's okay, you weren't supposed to. Pam referenced your question here, that connection, I think, is more prevalent than most people are aware of. And you can only serve the purpose that you're meant to serve this time. I don't think you're supposed to alter it. He's got his choices. I think there's a vacuum in his world right now. That's what I'm getting that you're on solid ground. And I'm hearing the word tripping. And he thought this move would be a solid ground, but contracts are contracts. It's interesting. This makes me recall that movie that What Dreams May Come. Robin Williams was in that one. And at the end of the movie, they have somehow he and his wife reincarnate, and you see these two little kids on a dock by a lake, and they just sort of stand there and stare at each other like, what the heck? Those contracts. Katera, Kevin Blaze. Well, I originally, Katera, the rings that I saw, I wanted to take as diamonds. I wasn't locked into the green one, but everything I saw was on your right hand. That's what was throwing me. So I assumed that they were. But I keep hearing the word magic around that. Oh, wait a minute. Are you wearing that ring 24/7, or do you take your rings off at night when you go to bed? The reason I'm asking is there's something about they want you to wear it when you're asleep. That would be interesting. Have you noticed any changes in your dreams lately? Are they more vivid? Are you thinking different thoughts during the day that are more up? There's a lot of positive to that ring, I think. I'm not getting anything that I would take as the dark side. The diamond ring. Oh, you're talking about the diamond ring that I saw, not the green ring. It was really big, and you were admiring the heck out of it. But I think that was more of an analogy than it was something particular. But it's huge. I'm hearing the word it's out of place. Is it a very old design as opposed to something, I don't know how diamonds are cut, but I know there's old styles and new styles, classic styles and that type of thing. But the ring struck me as, because I remember some diamonds used to be cut in a square shape as opposed to round or whatever they do with diamonds. Okay, then I'm right about the dreams. There's something about you do take them off at night, but when you do wear them, yeah, try wearing them at night. But there's something trying to get through to you. It's all positive. Do you believe in dragons? I had a red dragon for a while that hung around. I called him Leroy, and I haven't seen him for a while. But there's something green related to the. I want to go spirit-wise, energy-wise, something energetically that breathes, or did breathe at one time. Interesting. They're saying wear it 5 nights in a row. The size of the ring kept being overemphasized to me. That was what was prominent. And you were just loving it. So I think that's great. Treasured, what are they saying? Treasured. It's almost like it was your ring before. Was this a ring passed down to somebody that you got it from somebody else? Maybe you were somebody else before somebody else. I always wonder about stuff like that. There was some guy talking about cryogenics. I remember the story. This is where they freeze you, and then when technology happens, they bring you back to life. Apparently, he had a lot of money somewhere, and he wanted to reincarnate and come back into another body and get his money back. It was something like that. So maybe he came back to get the rings. Hi, Billy Diamonds. What's going on in your world? We're on the short end of the stick here. You got a question you want to explore quick? Julie is in Wisconsin monitoring me. We had Kirby here until a half an hour, well, about 20 minutes ago. He was my cohort. So I'm just bringing up the tail end of the show here, but I could play with something for you if you'd like. Throw it out quick. We're just hashing over secrets of the universe. I'm curious about the pass down. Yes, I'm taking questions, Bill. Go ahead. How far back does it go, that ring, Katira? Somebody had some real power with it. Well, what do we get for Bailey Diamonds? I'm hearing row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. And when I hear that, I think of the phrase, love many, trust few, paddle your own canoe. There's somebody that you're waiting to, what do I want to say, do something for you or take charge when it's really your responsibility to jump in and be the leader. They're saying take charge. They're saying take charge of your own destiny. So who are you waiting around to fix things, or are you thinking somebody's going to fix things? But they're not coming. I love that. I saw this on a feed one day. Just no one's coming to save you. Not here, not tomorrow. The cavalry's not on the way. It's all up to you. But they're saying you're dragging your feet. You know what you need to do. I want to go. Why are you dragging your feet? I see you outside. It's sort of like when a mother is telling a son, you've got to come in now. And you know how a kid will throw a little tantrum and go, no, I don't want to do that. That's the energy I'm getting from you. I get this picture of you coming in from the backyard playing outside as a kid, and mom's calling you in to either wash up for dinner or get ready for bed or something, and you'd rather keep doing what you're doing rather than what you know you need to do. Does that make any sense or ring a bell? They're saying you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm going to go, yay, win-win. Late 1800s. Ooh, that could go through a lot of hands. It was interesting though, because I get the sense that the ring went from good person to good person to good person, you know, so the energy accumulated on the thing. That's wild. Why am I hearing daughter? Do you have a daughter, Katir? I didn't think you did. I don't remember when we talked. That would mean well, get on your pony and ride there, Billy. And what they're saying, they hope we are encouraging you. They're saying destiny is waiting in your case. Interesting. They're suggesting you just, whether you believe in them or not, you've got energy around you that's wanting to help. Call it in and say, hey, look, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. And show me the way. But don't get fired up and then back off. Get fired up and stay fired up. And Katira, no kids. Why am I seeing a small child, female, blonde hair around you? That's why I started to go daughter. And I thought, wait a minute, I didn't think you had kids. But it wanted to go to the rings. Somehow this little girl was connected to the ring. So if you don't have kids, be careful. You might get one. That was interesting. Strongly saw a little female. Do you have any nieces or something like that? Clearly a small young girl. Very excited about the ring. Very excited. And so we fixed Billy. Katira's talking about her rings. And she doesn't have kids. We never saw Jess today. Anybody know what happened to Jess? Thanks for coming on, Kevin, and filling in. You took over Jess's spot. Well, actually, you took over 2 spots, your spot and Jess's. And all you guys are regulars. And thanks. Hope Kirby enlightened you. That could be inner child. Maybe it's your inner child who loves the ring. Did you like jewelry as a kid? That's where I want to go. Something. You've always been a jewelry nut. I'm thinking. And Billy, you don't have kids, okay? Enlighten, explain. True, true, true. Well, let's give Gabe a blast here. It's 58 on my clock here. I've enjoyed it with you guys. Let's see what else we got to throw at you, what they have to throw out at you. And here's what I'm hearing. The promised land is not as you perceive. The promised land is gained through respect, wisdom, and ongoing insight gains. That is to say, don't be discouraged by the shortcomings you feel you have experienced due to lack of clear thinking or bad choices. Those are all part of the game. The promised land is truly promised to each and all of you in some form. Eventually, everyone reaches their level of the promised land. Given the time frames and life experience and the art of reincarnation, you never run out of time to arrive there. Keep striving, keep journeying, keep discussing, keep putting your heart into everything you do. Express your concerns when you have them to others. Express compliments to others whenever you feel the need. It doesn't hurt to show anyone your love either verbally or physically. Well-intended gatherings of mutual support are always good for the soul. These connections you have in this small gathering even enlighten each of you in more ways than you are aware. The interaction is valuable for everyone. You each learn from each other, as you do in life and life's consequences. We encourage you to remain on the plane as long as you can, and keep discussing what you encounter, keep sharing, keep bewildering each other with your stories of amazement and strange encounters, and know that you are being thrust into the evolutionary game that you've signed up for. Blessings to you all. We are the Gabriel Collective, and until we meet again, keep placing one foot in front of the other. Ta-da! There you have it. See, you're not doing anything wrong. Just enlightened. Oh, next. Hey, thanks, you guys. Thank you, Julie, for setting this all up. Thanks to Kirby for hanging out. And we'll have Kirby again in the future. Kirby's pretty deep. I don't know if you guys know that or not. Every time I ask him a question, he sort of blindsides me with, oh, I didn't think about that. And thank you, thank you. I love you all. I love this game. Come back for more. Remember, I'm available for weddings and bar mitzvahs. And I say that only because there are times when they throw that out. So you all take care. Have a crazy week. Have a crazy weekend. Be wild and wacky. Have fun out there. What else can I say? We'll miss you till we kiss you. You guys take care. We're going to have a family reunion here sometimes, you guys. Blessings to you all.